Here are 5 tips to help you become a better front-end developer. Tip number 1 is learn the dev tools really well of whatever browser you're using. So this includes the network tab to understand errors that you're getting back from APIs and also what data you are sending from the browser to your APIs. Also, the application tab is very important. This allows you to see what cookies you have set, what is in your local and session storage. And lastly, the console is super important as it allows you to print out logs from your application to see what data you have. A lot of new developers do not know how to leverage the dev tools in their development, and it ends up taking them a lot longer to find bugs, which the dev tools catch if you know how to use them well. Number 2 is to install the right plugins into your code editor and your browser. So for example, if you're a React developer, you want to install the React DevTools plugin or extension into Google Chrome. This extension allows you to easily see what components are within your application when you're debugging and can help you see what props are passed to them, etc., which makes it a lot easier to debug your code. Also, if you're using a text editor or code editor such as VS Code, there are many useful plugins that will help you format your code automatically, give you code snippets so you can autocomplete code as you're writing it, and also things such as GetLens, which is a useful plugin to see when commits were last made to a specific line of code. So all of these little things add up and improve your workflow in the long run. Number 3 is to understand the fundamentals before you get too deep into frameworks. So being a front-end developer, 90% of the time you're going to be working with a front-end framework such as React, Angular, or Vue. And it can become very easy to get really deep into these frameworks and understanding how the framework works without understanding very well HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So even though you'll be working with these frameworks, you always want to go back and work with your fundamentals because all of these frameworks are built off of the fundamentals. So by understanding those fundamentals better, it will give you a deeper understanding in the long run of the framework. Number 4 is to learn how to use a design tool such as Figma. So being a front-end developer, you will be translating designs into code. These designs will come to you in some sort of format. Sometimes that could be screenshots, but most often than not, it will be through a design tool that your team uses, the most common ones being Figma and Adobe XD. So you want to get familiar with these tools so you know where to find things such as colors, fonts, etc., and assets such as images, and just how the interface works. This will greatly speed up your development time and also ensure that your code matches up with the designs that you were given. The best way to do this is to get some practical experience with the tool, perhaps build out a few of your own designs so you really get to understand the tool and how it works. The 5th and last tip that I have is to understand the basics of how a backend should work. Being a front-end developer, you're going to be consuming information from an API, whether that's a third-party API or an API that another team within your company develops. It doesn't matter. You want to understand what responsibility should lie on the front end and what responsibility should lie on the back end. One of the most common problems that I see new developers facing is that they will be given a certain problem that originates in the back end, but they don't fully understand that it should be a problem that the back end should resolve. They assume that responsibility lies on the front end. So they end up going in circles trying to implement a very complicated solution on the front end instead of talking with the back end team and saying, hey guys, I need this resolved. This sort of lack of understanding causes or wastes a lot of time and can cause a lot of stress for the developer because they're trying to solve a problem that the responsibility doesn't lie with them on the front end. So you really want to just understand the basics of a backend, where those responsibilities lie, as it'll allow you to better communicate issues when they come up and also write better front-end code because you're not trying to do a bunch of crazy stuff to accommodate a bug on the back end. Thanks for watching the video. If there's any tips that you think I left out, please let me know in the comment section below, and make sure to like and subscribe for some more software development content.